Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. It's time for Taroscopes again. We're going to be doing the Taroscopes for the sign of Aquarius. That's Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising for the month of November 2024. Before I get started into the astrology and then the tarot reading, I want to welcome my new subscribers. Welcome to this most wonderful community of like-minded souls. I think for the majority of the people that follow, we're really just searching for meaning and looking for the best possible way we can be of service and live the best possible life that we can while doing that service. Um, and for my tried and true who have been with me for years, I can't tell you how much I appreciate your support over all these years. I don't think I'm just honored to walk the journey with you guys. So thank you so much. So um, we're going to talk a little astrology. I will timestamp in case you just want to go to the tarot reading. Um, but I do have one more announcement now that I remember. Um, I've been on YouTube for many years now, and I've had this channel, and I freely shared what I know in an attempt to give perspective, perhaps, or even just for myself, right? And putting my ideas out there and the like. And I've decided that I want to give people the option to support me in a little more direct way. And by doing that, having a membership on this channel, I'm still going to put plenty of stuff out. You don't have to have a membership to have, but it helps to support me. And then I can share more of my knowledge in more intimate situations where we don't really have to worry about advertisers, or we don't have to worry about trolls, things like that, right? So that is in the works, and I am goaling that for January of 2025. So yeah, it's on one of the top of my list. Okay, so let's talk about astrology. Well, big month. On the 19th of November, Pluto, the planet of transformation, finally leaves Capricorn to stay in your sign Aquarius for the next 20 years. So our transformational process will be going through all the themes that Aquarius symbolizes for us. Um, Technology, new ideas, future-oriented, group-oriented, democracy oriented, raising all boats oriented. So there's a lot of technology that's going to, I mean, already, just a little time that Pluto has spent in Aquarius in these last 2 years or so has been pretty profound. And we've really had to sort of get used to some new ideas, and I think just general ideas about consciousness in general. And so we are all expanding our awareness. And one of the things that Aquarius is about disseminating knowledge equally. And I think what you're seeing in places like YouTube and me having channel and other readers that you love having channels is that it gives you an opportunity to expose yourself to ideas from regular folk, from people who have been exploring those ideas for years. Many of us have been, as I said, studying for years the old-fashioned way, the books, going through the old bookstores, right? So there's going to be more of that as we progress into with Pluto in your sign. So that's lovely news. We start the month with the sun in Scorpio, and in point of fact, just as we start the month, we have a new moon in Scorpio, and that new moon actually is a pretty powerful new moon in that the rulers of the sign of Scorpio, Pluto and Mars, are in opposition to each other. A few days later, they're exactly opposed to each other. That is, and that opposition um, is a repeat, really, of the opposition between the sun and the moon back on July 15th. So at that time, that's when your fellow Scorpio, actually. Oh, no, not Aquarius. He does have Aquarius. I'm not doing Scorpio, where our Scorpio president, that's what I want to say, decided to step down from nomination and hand the reins over and the energy over to Kamala, who has taken it and really ridden this giant blue tsunami that we're going to see break on election day and then further, because as we know, tsunamis, and sometimes they don't look big. It's just like everything sort of rises up and then comes in, right? So we're all rising up, guys. We're all rising up. Perfect for the month that Pluto moves into Aquarius, actually. But let's take a look. I want to look at this is not something you're going to see. It's just a guide for me. So this new moon is going to be happening in your 10th house of career and public standing. And so you will become more seen, perhaps. Now, I just want to point out that the president of the Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, is an Aquarius. As is there's somebody else that's an Aquarius. I'm trying to think who it is. Another young guy. If it comes to me, I'll remember. I'll mention it. But this is something to consider as we go through this Aquarius energy. So new moon, with this very powerful opposition between Pluto and Mars, which would normally be like a lot of tension, like, you know, something's going to blow up, something, but it's part of a kite formation that actually with Mercury that gives us and Pluto, so it's Pluto and Mars, Mercury in Scorpio, Neptune in Pisces, and Uranus in Taurus. So that whole thing, along with the Mars there in that in like 28 degrees of Scorpio is it could be like a laser beam. And so there's a real energy of getting to the core of something. Now we have a full moon on the 15th in the opposite sign of Taurus, and that would be the moon would be in your fourth house of home, but the sun still up in that 10th house. So the axis that gets activated on the full moon for you is the axis of security. Also the axis of parenting, how you parent, how you were parented. It's sort of the mother-father axis. And in a way, it's the way that we sort of plant our feet and rise up to the heavens. That's the direction of the full moon for you. Now, the full moon is going to be conjunct Uranus. So not only is the new moon have a Uranus connection, even though it's not a direct Uranus connection, the full moon definitely has a direct Uranus connection. And the Uranus conjunct the full moon can be unexpected emotional outbursts of some sort, something that like shakes the ground. So we'll see what that is. We can't be sure. And we're all evolving to that point anyway. So we can't to decide what that's going to be right now. Whenever we're dealing with Uranus, you just got to deal with the day that you're in. That's it. And you'll deal with it and you'll move on. So it's not something to worry about, but just something to be aware of. All right. So I talked about Pluto. Mars is changing signs. It's in Cancer. No, yeah, it's in Cancer very briefly. And then on the 3rd moves into Leo. And this Cancer, Leo, Mars energy is actually, this isn't the first time we're going to see it because in December, Mars is going to go retrograde in Leo, retrograde all the way back to, I think, about 16 degrees of Cancer, and then retrograde, station forward and then move out. So instead of being in, that area of the chart, let's say, relatively early Leo and back into Cancer, that area of the chart gets activated 3 times with this Mars retrograde cycle, but we're not going to see it's not going to make the final hit like in April. So we have there's plenty of of space and plenty of time to see how that's going to manifest itself. But for you this month, having Mars move into Leo is your house of relationship. It can be marriage, and Mars brings energy and action, and Mars in Leo can be kind of like dramatic and kind of fun, really, even too. So it's not just, Mars is in the seventh house, arguments in your relationships. Yeah, okay, maybe, but it's like coming to it's about compromise. It's about a need to compromise. And we also have what did I want to say about compromise? Well, the Pluto opposition to Mars. Now that's interesting. Is actually going to be happening in your 12th house and your 6th house. Mars has been moving through your 6th house, and it will move in you back into your 6th house during this Mars retrograde, and that 6th house is health. So that's something you got to watch. You got to watch your health. Watch for inflammation, right? Inflammation is a big deal. Stress, big deal. If you can reduce your inflammation and find ways to reduce your stress, I think you'll be okay. Let's see. Is there anything else I want to mention? The sun in Scorpio, okay. I talked about this when I talked about the new moon. That's career. And then it moves in Sag, and when it moves in Sag, it goes into that 11th house of goals, friends, organizations, people of like mind. So you're going to be, so the light of the sun is going to be shining in that area. And so, get your posse together and do what you got to do, right? All right, let's see. Is there anything else I want to mention? Oh yeah, Mercury. Mercury goes retrograde on the 25th. It's in Sagittarius. Its entire retrograde time is in Sagittarius, and I think it goes direct right around the 15th of December. So, but most of it is happening in December. So it's from the 25th on in this month that it's retrograde. But of course, that's just an arbitrary, right, end. So we can see that you're going to have to be a little more careful about your communications, and that's going to be in groups. Okay, that's going to be in groups. So you might have to like do that listen, what is that called? Active listening. Somebody says something and you say, this is what I heard you say. Do that with your friends. I think it'll definitely be helpful and prevent misunderstandings. Mercury and Sag is an energy that tends to kind of get in trouble because it doesn't really have a lot of filters. Most of the fire signs don't have filters, although Leo is aware of the filter and takes the filter down when necessary, but generally keeps it up because Leos want to be liked. Whereas Sagittarius and Aries aren't as interested in being sort of liked or adored. They're on their spiritual journey, and they're going to get there, right? So that's the fire energy. But all right, so that's what I want to say. Oh, Venus does go from Sag into Capricorn this month. And so she's gone from your 10th house to your 11th house. And so that area of your chart, very public area of your chart with Venus up there. So you might actually get invited to a lot of parties. I don't, why not, right? Maybe Kamala One party. I think that would be good. All right. So that's where I'm going to stop. Let's see, where am I here? Okay. All right, so let's do a card reading. I'm going to use the Wild Unknown deck for you. And then I'll also pull a Crystal Ally card. I've been picking Crystal Ally cards for just about everybody. So let me just give this a good shuffle. So this question that I'm asking is, what does Aquarius need to be aware of this month of November 2024? What's up for Aquarius? All right, just give me a couple more shuffles. I want to make sure this really feels like the old energy is out of these. All right, just a little more shuffy. We have a beautiful day today. It's been actually been pretty cold at night here while I was doing these. And today is like really the first warm day in a while. Feels good. October is really cool time of year in New England because we still get these sort of Indian summer days, but they're not like summer, which is too hot and muggy generally for my tastes. But this is where I live, and I love it. All right. We start with the Wheel of Fortune. I've gotten this card a lot this month. So the Wheel of Fortune is a card associated with change. So there's a change. There's big change in the offing. Let's see what's crossing it. You have a little trepidation about coming out, about maybe flying your freak flag, if that's what you want to call it, or putting your opinions out there. You feel as though you have to be very circumspect about how you express yourself at this time. Now, I'm not saying it's a bad thing or good thing. Let's see what else happens here. We have the Eight of Cups. This is putting in a lot of energy, emotional energy into something that hasn't worked out. And so you look, you have nothing in your cup, and you face this giant mountain. So you're actually feeling stuck. See, this is what this is. This is a sense of damned if you do, damned if you don't, right? Even though this was the challenge card, and change is the card of the moment. What I would say at this point anyway is that this isn't going to last forever, and how you're feeling right now is well, it's how you're feeling right now. Let's see what else comes up. We have government and wisdom in the past. So maybe listening to an elder or working within the structures, the structures that are there to support, perhaps. But of course, the government or the way the structures, the way things are set up isn't always the best way necessarily, but it is the way. And you sort of went the traditional route. I want to say that you've gone the traditional route here, but there's information that you're not receiving. There are secrets there, but they're not. So I feel like any kind of information that you get at this time is not going to come from, say, a person or the regular channels. I feel like the information is going to come through spirit and your connection to source. And like if you have a meditative practice or something like that, that you're going to get it from a different source. Let's see the immediate. And so your immediate future is the Eight of Pentacles. This means that you put a lot of work into the web that you have woven, right? We create our own reality in a way. And it says that you are in the process, or you are doing that, and you can continue to do that, but it does take work. So it's this energy of doing it and doing it again and doing it again and doing it again. How it's seen from the outside, a jumbled mess. Things seem like a jumbled mess from the outside. Burdensome, very burdensome. Let's see the domestic situation. Okay, we have the Daughter of Wands. This is really kind of an as you sow, so shall you reap card, but this is about the message. The message is coming out. There will be a message coming, and you'll hear it in your domestic situation, an idea perhaps, or a message from spirit. Hopes and fears. The Mother of Pentacles, for peace, for safety, for women and children. Outcome. We have the Five of Swords to start with. This is, I feel like somebody is going to come in and you see how you have these two sort of like worms and swords, and we have this sword that comes in and just cuts it in half. I feel like there is something that's coming up where you're going to have to give more than you want to give, but you're not going to lose everything. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what it feels like. You will still have plenty, but you're going to maybe have to give up something that you don't want to give up. And that's going to lead to victory. That's going to lead to victory. Okay, happiness. And then a whole new path. So it does look like something is either some third option comes in and disrupts a connection of some sort, and then you stand strong in your courage, and then love, and then new beginnings. So I feel like there's a sense of we're at it's not really a breaking point, but a point where a decision is made, something happens, and then that's when everything shifts, and you're sort of, in a way, you're free of this. You're free of this. You're free of this. Okay. But it does look like it's gonna probably, well, I mean, it could take longer than this month, but it may not. It may not. It may happen within the month. We have the Six of Wands, victory, the Seven of Swords. Watch, just be circumspect around people you can't trust. Know who you can trust and know who you can't trust. And then we have some sorrow here. So, there's but I would say that the change is right. We're right at the change here. We're right at the change. It really does say just consistently apply yourself in the way you've been applying yourself. Things will be revealed to you, but maybe not through the normal. I think things will be revealed to you through the networks you have already created. Okay, that's what I want to say. The networks that you have created, that's how you're going to get your information. And of course, that could be meditation. Like it's like, oh, I got into meditating again. And that's how you tap in to your web. All right, let's pull a crystal ally card and see if we can get a crystal that's going to help you navigate this month. I'm only going to pick one. There are a lot of cards in this deck. This is from a deck by a woman named Naisha Ashian. She actually has a different name now, but I don't think she's public anymore, so I don't think it matters. But if you wanted to get these cards, they're called the Crystal Ally cards. Oops. Let's not get everything over here. They're called the Crystal Ally cards, and she's a really smart lady. I think she's either a physicist, she has a physics degree, or she has a geology degree, or maybe a little bit of both. I don't know. She's very smart and very metaphysical, very tapped in. So it's a great deck. It's a great deck. Let me see. Let's go here. What do we got? Azurite, insight. This is a third eye stone. Azurite is actually a beautiful stone. It's that deep blue stone. Sometimes you'll see it together with malachite. But it is for insight, and insight means the sight within. So we're talking about the third eye. And remember I said that you will have information coming in through your connections with spirit. It feels like spirit is going to come down, give you information, and that's going to give you an opportunity to sort of move out of this feeling of being stuck. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I see. So trust your insights on this. Trust your insights. It's not going to be the easiest. Month for you, but ultimately it's going to be the one that maybe matters the most. Um, and so you need to stay aligned to your spiritual, stay aligned to that which feeds your spirit, because you're going to need that extra good juju coming from the divine. Okay. All right. So that's the story. And I know you can't really see me that well. Let me see if I can fix that. We're at the end, so I don't really want to have to dawdle with this. Does this help? No? Come on now. This will be the picture that comes up, right? All right, hold on. I'm going to say goodbye to you, but I want to say clear. All right. There we are, clear as day. All right. Have yourself a great month, everyone. Take care. Be careful out there. Do what you need to do for your own sense of health and well-being. Things will work out. There are new things happening. This is one of those months that that I have what I want to say is it's darkest before dawn, and dawn is breaking. Okay. So don't lose your faith, don't lose your hope. Things are going to work out, and it's going to be so, when you're on the other side of this, it's going to be just like, whoa, like a whole new world, man, a whole new world. Take care. Have a great month, and I'll see you again next month. Much love. Namaste.